In the Sparkling Skylands area of Pokemon Pokopia, there's a huge skyscraper that needs rebuilding. So to get started with this project, your first step is to finish the Skylands Pokemon Center. If you need help with this, we have a video on how to do this, so go ahead and check that out. Now, if you haven't already, craft a lift platform for the engineer Pokemon, using an iron ingot, concrete, and a gear. The Pokemon will ask you to follow you, so lead them to the Pokemon Center by using the lift you just placed. Next, talk to the Professor and you will be shown the huge ruined building that we need to rebuild. Then you'll head over there with the Engineer and Professor. You'll need to build a path that's 2 blocks wide so they can cross over there. When you arrive at the building, talk to the Engineer and you'll scope out the building with them, making a few style choices along the way. When this is done, go back down to the street level and wait for the Engineer Pokemon to return, then talk to them and they will place a materials tray so you can get started with the construction. There are 3 stages to rebuilding the huge building, and they are all fairly straightforward, requiring you to deposit ingredients and gather Pokemon to complete each phase. For the first phase, which is the second floor, you will need 25 concrete, 10 glass, 5 Pokemetal ingots and 10 iron ingots. You can get concrete by mixing up limestone in the cement mixer and asking this Pokemon to help out. Glass can be acquired by smelting sand in a furnace, while Pokemetal ingots are created using Pokemetal fragments, which can be obtained by mining these ore blocks. There's a large cave filled with these not far from where the ruined building is located. Be sure to place a block higher up to stop the flow of water in this cave to make the ore blocks accessible. Lastly, iron is easy to acquire if you go mining in the lower areas of the volcano in the Rocky Ridges region. Remember, you will need to eat a simple hamburger steak to power up your rock smash move so you can mine tougher ore blocks. You can make a hamburger using 4 beans at a cooking stove. Once you have all the required materials, gather up 5 Pokemon plus the Engineer Pokemon and you can start rebuilding the second floor of the skyscraper, which should take 1 real-world hour to complete. With this done, the next phase involves 25 cement and 10 glass, like before, but this time you will also need 10 glowing stone blocks and 15 copper ingots. Glowing stone can easily be found in the lower areas of the volcano once again, and copper can be acquired from the surface level area of the Rocky Ridges region. For this phase you will also need to fetch the chef Pokemon from Rocky Ridges, so head over there and talk to them, then get them to follow you all the way to the ruined building. In all, you will need the Engineer Pokemon, the chef Pokemon, and 8 more Pokemon to start building this phase. When everything's ready and you've started building, come back after 1 real-world hour and the 3rd floor should be ready to go. There's just one more stage to do, the 4th and highest floor, which is the 3rd phase of our project. For this last phase, the fancy floor, you'll need the help of the weakened Pokemon from the Bleak Beach area. The materials are fairly simple this time around: 40 concrete, 15 glass, 10 bricks, 20 pieces of lumber and 10 paper. Well, we know how to make concrete and glass, and don't forget that bricks can be made by giving pieces of squishy clay to a Pokemon like this one, while lumber comes from giving small logs to a Pokemon such as this one. However, to make paper, you'll need to make a Professor's Apprentice program habitat for a Pokemon who can help you. To do this, head upstairs to the office in this building and place a table next to one of the whiteboards up here, then put a laptop on the table along with some jumbled cords. You can find all of these items by checking around the local area. Try the island that has the cave full of rare ores and you'll be sure to come across them. While we're waiting for that Pokemon to appear, gather up some Builder Pokemon in the meantime and also head over to Bleak Beach to find the weakened Pokemon who will offer to follow you to the construction site. While you're here, this Pokemon will ask you to help out by creating a waterfall, and in the process you'll learn how to gather up water blocks and place them anywhere to create running water, which will come in handy later. When you have all of the required Pokemon in tow, head back to the Professor's Apprentice program habitat we made earlier to find this Pokemon, who can make paper for you if you hand over some waste paper. You can find plenty of this scattered around the Skylands region, so hand over as much as you can and come back a bit later to get 10 pieces of paper, which is the last material we need for the huge building. Head back and deposit the paper, then press start building as before. Come back after 1 real-world hour and ta-da! The building is done at last! With the roof now complete, a certain famous Pokemon will be waiting for you at the very top of the building. Take the elevator all the way up and talk to them, and your trainer rank will increase to Master. head all the way back down to talk to the Professor and complete this quest. Congratulations on finishing this major building project in Pokemon Pokopia. If you like this video and it helped you out, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thanks for watching.